Hello and welcome to News Mongolia on MNB World. It's Monday, April the 26th. I'm Batsir Namshir. And for our top stories, 856 cases reported on Monday. State tally is now 31,339. Salkhit silver deposit resources increased by 60%. Young Mongolian man donates self-designed ventilation hoods to a local hospital. For other news, stay tuned. Today, on Monday, the Ministry of Health reported 856 new cases. The total number of COVID-19 cases in Mongolia is now 31,339. In order to restrict the public movement, the state of emergency was extended by 14 more days, starting from today until May the 8th.
In the last 24 hours, over 10,000 people were tested for COVID-19 and 856 new cases were confirmed. 1,060 people have recovered and 2 more people have died. The state's tally is now 31,339. Among the total number of patients, 54% have recovered. The Ministry of Health reports that 58% of the current hospital patients are displaying mild symptoms. 81 patients are in a severe condition. Mongolian government is now focusing on accelerating the vaccination rollout. Around 50,000 people are being vaccinated each day. According to the ULAANBAATAR reference website, global coronavirus cases are now at 147 million. The total number of confirmed deaths is over 3 million. Experts note that a fourth wave of coronavirus is surging worldwide. The country with the highest number of COVID-19 cases is the US with 33 million, followed by India with 17 million. Currently, India is in critical situation. On Sunday, the country reported about 300,000 cases in the previous 24 hours. It is the global daily record since the coronavirus spread worldwide.
Starting last week, the vaccination rollout intensified among public. On the weekend, Prime Minister Oyungerden visited an immunization spot to see the real-life situation.
As the mass immunization is currently sweeping the nation, Prime Minister visited the 52nd school in Hangwol district, which is currently operating as the immunization spot. He was accompanied by the Health Minister of Mongolia. Mongolia is late in implementing the preliminary schedule for the second shot of the vaccines, but experts noted there won't be any harm in your health due to the delay. The Prime Minister stated, in order to prevent any further delay, the government is focusing on the vaccine import schedule.
Vaccination fees were paid on time. From Mongolian side, all the purchasing agreements were made. I think the Ministry of Health is pursuing the right tactic. Since the pandemic situation is complicated, it's better that as many people get the first shot as quickly as possible.
On Friday, the second shot of vaccine has also started on a large scale in Mongolia. It was highly expected by the public. It is planned that residents will receive the second shot completely by May 7th.
It's worrisome that the health of coronavirus patients is deteriorating faster. It means we will need more oxygen and beds in the intensive care units for our severe patients. The Ministry of Health is putting an extra effort on increasing the available ICU beds. Currently, 250 ICU beds are occupied.
Most of the people who received the second shot reported less negative effects. Health experts are reminding the public not to let their guard down after the second shot, as immunization will settle after about 15 days.
The Salkhit silver deposit set in motion the drafting of amendments to the State Treasury Law in 2020. Irknus Silver Resources LLC owns the license to the deposit, and the company has reported that the deposit resources have increased by 60% as a result of recent exploration.
The Salkhit silver deposit is now the country's first mining project to be transferred to state ownership and managed by Mongolian engineers through private sector management. The deposit was originally assessed to have a reserve of 2.3 million tons of ore. The reserve has now been assessed at 3.2 million tons of ore, marking a 60% increase. In 2020, the government put the Salkhit silver deposit's resources in motion and cancelled pension loan debt. This May, the government plans to redistribute welfare payments to seniors who did not have pension loan debt when loan forgiveness was applied. The deposit covers a total area of 2,887 hectares. The plant, which operates 24 hours a day, all year round, has the capacity to process 1,000 tons of ore per day and to produce 30 to 40 tons of concentrate. 1 ton of concentrate can contain about 1 kilogram of silver, 3 grams of gold, and more than 1 kilogram of copper and zinc. Erden's Silver Resource, which owns the license to mine the Salkhit silver deposit, reported that the deposit's remaining natural resources can be used for at least another 5 years.
Currently, there are 862 tons of silver resources and 1.5 tons of gold. Mining operations are continuing. Also, we are planning to complete a site perspective study. This deposit isn't that large, but it's very resource-rich. Our project holds the promise of 750 billion Mongolian Turks in the net profits.
It's been a year since the Salkhit silver deposit has entered into regular mining operations, but industry analysts say it has already been profitable. The project is the first to be led by Mongolian engineers without foreign collaboration. The project is now providing employment to over 350 Mongolian engineers.
Now let's take a look at currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Among the world's COVID-19 struggles, there have also been good stories to share. Ingtufsheng designed a greenhouse to plant vegetables during lockdown. Hospital staff found out about his design and asked him to turn it into a ventilation hood. Ingtufsheng worked with a team to make 5 ventilation hoods and donated them to the hospital.
Ingtufsheng works as a plumber for a private company. During the lockdown, he designed a greenhouse made from plumbing materials and posted it to a Facebook group. His post got a lot of attention, and a staff member from the Mongolia-Japan Teaching Hospital connected with him to ask if he could make ventilation hoods based on his design. He welcomed the request and reached out to his co-workers to take on the challenge.
I designed a greenhouse for my home with my plumbing tools. Then the hospital asked me to make a ventilation hood that they could buy from me. I accepted the request. Our team used only plumbing materials such as pipes and pipe corners to make the ventilation hood.
Personal ventilation hoods are a critical tool for hospitals to help contain the spread of droplets in COVID-19 wards. There are 74 beds in the intensive care unit at the Mongolia-Japan Teaching Hospital. The hospital has reported that because of the lack of ventilation hoods, 89 healthcare workers have been infected by COVID-19. The hospital staff are grateful for Ingtufsheng and his team's donation of 5 ventilation hoods.
Following this, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Tuesday with more news and updates. Goodbye.